Greetings everyone, Des here, and today is September 11th, 2021. This is hopefully a short intro to the pumpkin and gourd patch update. Now, though the videos that'll come after this were filmed before this video, so they're actually older. And I just want to talk briefly about and show you some of the other plants other than pumpkins. As you guys know, when I get obsessed with something, I run with it and tend to ignore other things even though I'm still working on them. So here are some of my nepenthes for you guys to look at. I'm only going to point out 3 that I'm excited. My ampullarias, this red ampullaria has gotten really, really nice. It's got so many beautiful pictures. And then I've got this young lime twist. So this will be the first picture in my care, but it doesn't look very good at the moment. And then I've got this all green with a bit of it's all backwards, pink peristome. So those are my 3 ampullarias at the moment. So I just want to talk about growing in Florida and say hello to some of you that might be new here. I'll just flash both your names on the screen because I am sorry I can't remember your names at the moment. One is kind of hard to pronounce, but there's this misconception that living in Florida is this tropical paradise and you can grow anything. Well, that's not true. It's really hot here. There's a lot of bugs, there's a lot of diseases, and as I have found out, even though I've lived here all my life, our seasons are backwards, which is the mistake I think I've been making with pumpkins. And pumpkins, like orange pumpkins, like jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, giant Atlantic pumpkins, or anything that's like related to that type of decorative pumpkin is basically impossible to grow down here because of the high heat. Usually we're 90s and higher. The bugs, like the melon worm and the stink bugs and leaf-footed bugs, and then there's the diseases like powdery mildew, and it's just really bad. And if you're lucky, you can get to the flowering stage, and then the vines just get diseased and died, or they get eaten by bugs, or both. It's just terrible. Which is why Florida doesn't have an agriculture for pumpkins. We have to import our pumpkins from other states, and when you go to a Florida pumpkin patch, none of those pumpkins were grown in the state. They're brought in their little roadside stands, or you see them at supermarkets or church parking lots and things like that. Second of all, I wanted to say thank you. You guys have suggested that I use neem oil. Luckily right now those stink bugs aren't too bad. I am using a regimen of BT for the caterpillar, and which is the worst thing right now, and a preventative peroxide for the powdery mildew. So far the stink bugs, I think they're on their way out because it's going to start getting cooler here. But even though I know it's an organic product, I hear it's pretty strong. So I am going to use that like as a last resort if we do end up getting stink bugs and leaf bugs and things like that coming out. Okay, this short video is too long, so let's get started. I'm going to show you guys what has been going on in the garden, which is now already outdated. Greetings everyone, today is the evening of September 10th, and it's time for a pumpkin patch update and gourd update. So here we have the 3 ball loofahs. They're growing onto the fence quite nicely. Let's go over and check out the pumpkins that are now growing in the front yard for the first time. So here we have some sprouts of wolf pumpkins. I'm gonna keep the middle one and repot the other 2 to some other part of the yard. I plant more than one seed hoping that something will make it. Here we've got the charisma pumpkin, And you'll notice that I finally got some paint sticks, and it just looks so nice that way. Now that these have come up, I can add granular fertilizer and also top it off with some mulch, but they need to get a little bigger first. And once again, I'll be keeping the one in the middle, and the other two will figure something out. And then we have Indian Doll, which has not done anything, hoping for new sprouts maybe tomorrow. That would be nice. Here we are at the 1-2 mini. Hopefully it's gotten bigger from last time. And I am having trouble so early on, not with this particular plant, but with another one. I'll show you. The melon worms have already started. I hate those things so much. Here we've got La Estrella. There's 2 plants in here. They're growing nicely, and I'm just going to let them both go. Whichever one wins, wins. Then we've got my green Kusha, and I am surprised that this is doing so terribly because the green is supposed to be the healthiest of all of the Kushas. But anyways, this is the one that the melon worms got a hold of, and that's not water that's on the leaves, that's BT spray. I sprayed underneath and on top. And what has been so difficult about this is that it has rained every single day. So as soon as I spray, it gets washed off. It's been pointless, and there's nothing to stop the worms from getting in, the moths. We had a cold front come through. Doesn't mean that it's going to be cold. It just means that we've got some dry air finally, hopefully coming in. So I took the time to spray, and hopefully there won't be any more rain. I don't know. That's the theory anyway. Alright, so this is now my seed sprouting area. I have moved it from the grow lights that were inside the greenhouse, patio greenhouse. And I think it's better out here because this gets morning sun, full sun. And I have a theory that seedlings do best if planted out in full sun like they would be out in the wild. So there's no need to harden them off or anything. And we've got some really special stuff growing here. This one, and yes, this is an old bird cage that isn't in use anymore, is a gourd called Big Bear. And this guy is one that's really special. This is a gourd called African Wine Kettle. And if you guys remember, I think it was 2010 or maybe it was 2011, something around there. I had those huge African wine kettles that were like 3 feet tall, and they grew all over the yard. So I've got a few others started in here, but they're not coming up. They're really extremely difficult to sprout, so I'm hoping if this is the only one I ever get, that this one will do me good and make lots of fruits with lots of seeds. Now this guy back here is a Dill's Atlantic Giant. Don't get excited, it's not one of those really giant pumpkins. I bought that from, I think it's a Johnny's seed or something like that. It came originally from there. So they don't have the genetics for getting those 1,000-pound plus pumpkins. Now, get back in here. We've got, these are really special too. This is called Casa Banana, and it is a member of the cucumber family, also more like a melon, that looks like a sausage, and it's supposed to taste really good. I know they smell good. I've never eaten one, but I have held one and smelled one. And I'm going to show you guys these clear cups and what I like about them. At least, let me pull it out with this guy here. Well, I like that they're colored and that they're clear. And if you turn it here, you can see how the roots are growing. Really nice. And sometimes you can tell if a seedling will come out because you'll see the roots first before you see the sprout pop out of the top. And that's about it for the seedlings in the cage. I wanted to show you guys the types of cups that I use for my seed starting. I used to originally use these red ones, and there's blue ones. You can get these at any grocery store or pharmacy, and they're nice. They have a hard plastic and everything. They work well, but I've always liked stuff you can see through, and when I saw that they had colored cups at Walmart, I decided to get some. But Chris actually took me to the dollar store at Dollar Tree, And we found these. I really like these. I picked blue and green. They are so clear and see-through, even though they're colored. It's really nice. And the only thing I don't like about them is that they're super thin and squishy. But other than that, I have loved these. And so I went to get more because I was running out. And this was the brand that they had. It's called Smart and Simple Party Cups. But they didn't have that next time I went. I got a purple and a green, and this time they have these ribs on them, so they're not as see-through, but it is a thicker plastic, so it'll be more durable. And I already went ahead and drilled. I like to drill 5 holes in my cups, and I'll be using this for pumpkins and gourds. And here's the brand that they had. So I guess it's they have different things at different types of years, and it's called Cups. Tasses is cups in probably French, I'm guessing, tinted. And both of these were supposed to be 16 ounces. This one is, yeah, 16 ounces also, even though they're slightly different shapes. This one's taller, but it's probably thinner. Alright, here is a Seminole pumpkin. Notice the beautiful, it's made its first leaf with these colored markings. This is not powdery mildew. This is what they're supposed to look like. They naturally have this white pattern. But I have gone through and I've sprayed everything for melon worms. So this is all BT spray at the moment. Tomorrow, if nothing gets washed off, I'll do the peroxide treatment. Sunlight pumpkin with those nasty spots again. I just don't know if maybe the peroxide is burning them or just being out here in the full sun. The midnight pumpkin is getting really nice, actually. Yeah, let me let you guys see. It looks pretty good. And then here we've got a white Kusha. Now this Kusha is doing so much better than the green Kusha on the other side. I don't know why. Well, I just hope the stupid melon worms don't find this one. So here we are at the other wall, and we've got a moonscape pumpkin. We've got our orange Kusha, and I'm actually starting seeds for a tricolored Kusha. Now, we're already getting flowers down in here. I don't know why. It's way too soon. I'm gonna pick this flower off because they're supposed to be concentrating on having leaves and vines, not flowers this early in the season. I don't know why flowers come out when it's way too early. And lastly, we have our Dickinson pumpkin. And all these guys are all so bushy right now. I do my best to fertilize them with all the rain and everything going on, but hopefully they'll start vining out soon. But at the same time, I do want that to happen, and I don't, because I have to clear so much land to get this all to be get rid of all the grass, and that's not easy. Chris and I we're tilling this by hand with a hoe. Alright, well, hope you guys enjoyed that. Des, signing off.